Now, a no vote does not mean no change, Gordon Brown declared today, insisting he'd push for Scotland to get more powers within the United Kingdom if voters reject independence later this month. But it's the Yes campaign that's in the ascendant right now, according to polls. We've travelled from Betty Hill in the far north, down the west coast of the Highlands to Ullapool, and across to Inverness and Nairn on the Moray Firth. Wearing his Englishness on his sleeve, Inigo Gilmore asked the Yes voters why they want to break up. Is it, as in so many splits, a case of, it's not you, dear, it's me?
I'd come to the fabled Highlands to try to find out why Scots might want to leave the rest of us in Britain. Our journey began in a windswept town called Betty Hill on the rugged northern coast. Jean McLean has lived here for nearly 30 years. Now retired, she invited us to go fishing in her 20-foot pleasure boat.
If you disappear overboard, we'll know it's a shark.
As we set about trying to reel in some mackerel, Jean told me she was firmly in the no camp. Alex salmon may not be her kind of catch, but she admits the nationalists have wide appeal.
What do you think's driving the Yes vote? Why don't they want to live with the English anymore?
I think a lot of it is emotional, that they want to be Scotland. But we're not Scotland anymore because there are people here from all over the world.
Oh!
You caught the boat.
Oh no, I've caught the boat.
Back on dry land, I came across an old phone box. Inside, another surprise.
So believe it or not, this is the local library, and in among the Dick Francis, John Grisham novels, I've come across this. Hugo Chavez. Maybe revolution is alive and well even in this part of Scotland.
I have a Yes sticker, but I haven't put it anywhere yet.
Just down the road, we met Meg, who was fired up by the revolutionary spirit, albeit in a genteel kind of way. Meg's shop is a converted croft house, proudly stocked with local products.
Why don't you want to live with us anymore?
Because it would just be nice to make our own decisions about ourselves for once.
Because a lot of people in England interpret it as this sort of anti-English sentiment.
No, well, I don't think it. The Scot has a very big chip on his shoulder, for whatever reason, and the English get blamed for it.
It was time to hit the road. We travelled west, meandering through the hills and glens, heading towards Ullapool, the largest town for miles around. The scenery en route is breathtaking. These days, the local economy is driven by tourism. At a surfers' beach, I met Simon from Lossy Mouth.
Why don't the Scots want to live with the English anymore?
As you can see, it's a very different world that we're living up here to down in London, you know, so we just feel that Scottish people might have a better understanding of what's going on in this part of the world.
For Simon, yoga and yes go hand in hand.
As you stretch out your muscles, are you thinking about independence for Scotland?
Thinking what a great place this is to live, eh? You know, like, look at that. We don't want this spoilt, you know, we want to keep this as good as we can.
After some stretches, we arrived in Ullapool, a picturesque fishing port and a gateway to the Western Isles.
Is about the type of country you want to live in.
In the village hall, the Scottish National Party was having a gathering. Scenes like this are being played out across Scotland.
The English are wondering why people here don't want to live with them anymore.
Well, it's really not about living with the English. For me, it's mainly a question of democracy. For more than half of my life, Scotland's been governed by a party that doesn't enjoy a majority. Taking governance back into our own hands means that Scotland will get the governments that Scotland votes for.
On the edge of Inverness, the site of the 1746 Battle of Culloden. It's often portrayed as a defeat for a free Scotland at the hands of the treacherous English. But in truth, Scots fought on both sides just as today.
Because Scotland could keep the pound.
If we go by the Bank of England, if we look, there's too many unanswered
Scotland
questions.
can keep the pound.
Yeah, but their own pound, which isn't the British pound.
No.
Good luck. I think English feel a bit sore about this. They feel that you don't want to live with us anymore.
I'm married to an Englishwoman. And if you stop voting Tory, we would never be in this predicament.
Anti-Tory sentiment was a refrain I heard time and again from Yes supporters. I was invited to attend an evening of Highland dance, but first I had to get kilted up.
That kilt should be up there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull it in a little bit tighter, because you should wear it and you would feel it like a corset.
Oh, goodness. All right.
Tough being Scottish, huh?
Tough dressing Scottish. It's no matter they want their own state. What I must say actually does feel, in some ways, quite liberating.
Before I knew it, I'd been dragged onto a dance floor to perform a Scottish reel before some rather bemused American tourists. This troupe is deeply immersed in Highland tradition, yet independence is not for them.
Who's a yes here, who's a no?
I'm a no.
I'm a no. I'm also a no.
I mean, some of the English feel like, how come the Scottish don't want to live with us anymore? Like, are we really upset them that much?
Well, I mean, you look at the opinion polls, most of the Scots still want to live with the English, so...
It's not that bad. What have you heard of people saying no supporters of traitors?
And, yeah, just things on Facebook and Twitter, and not really just saying that why don't you support your country? But then we do still support it, even if we don't want independence. We're still proud to be Scottish.
Scottish pride on display at Inverness's most fiercely nationalist pub. But here, as elsewhere in the Highlands, there seemed to be genuine affection towards their southern cousins. So as I head home, I'm reassured that Yes voters do still want to live with the rest of us in Britain, just on different terms.